actually thought about doing a short story from Admin's perspective, in which Raybert really is the lunatic who is out to destroy the universe. Okay? I mean, think about it. We wrote the novel from Raybert's perspective, with Raybert as the good guy, which is fine. I mean, he's trying to keep, 14 out of 15, doomed universes alive. They're only trying to keep one alive. But when you think about it, in essence, what they are doing is they're defending not just their present, not just their future, they're defending their past. And they have to fail if everybody else is going to survive. 13, how many years, 1,000 years it was,
1,300.
1,300 years in the future. But there's a huge part that I think readers tend to miss, which is that they want to stop Raybert. They don't want the 15 universes to implode in 1,300 years. When they set out to chase him, though, they don't have data, they don't have proof that he's right, and they certainly don't have proof that with 1,300 years to work with and improved technology, they can't find a way to fix the problem. Okay? And the fact that they are willing to go to any lengths they have to go to protect the integrity of their own universe leads them to commit actions which, from the reader's perspective and from the good guys, if you will, perspective, are horrific. But in part also, they're committing them in a conceptual framework which says none of these actions are ever actually going to have happened. Okay? Because until they get into the what I think of as the resonant zone, the period in the Gordian Protocol where the actual conflict is taking place, admin doesn't have any more reason than Sysgov to think that they can make permanent changes in the past. As a matter of fact, they have every reason to think they can't. So conceptually, and this is something that I think maybe we should have been a little more explicit about in doing Gordian. These people who are committing these horrific acts are committing them in a conceptual framework which says, and it never will have happened if we succeed. Okay? And if we fail, they're all going to die anyway. Okay? And that's something that I don't think we maybe... It was in both of our minds when we were writing it, but I think that it may have been deep enough into both of our minds that we didn't state it clearly for the reader at any point. I mean, certainly all over the book and all over the Valkyrie Protocol, we have people talking about how we didn't think you could change the past, we didn't think you'd do this. But I'm talking about specifically when we look at the motivations of Shigeki and his son and the other admin actors in the Gordian Protocol. Nox. When Nox in the end there, he's kind of like, fine, I want these people to hurt, okay? I mean, tell me
the
he's
red
not.
haze comes down.
Yes, but he got really, really pissed, okay, for a lot of reasons. But
he's really the only one that that happens with.
Well, Shigeki in the final confrontation with Raybert, he's kind of in the, I am going to take you down, whatever it takes. But it's not, even there, it's not that I hate you and I want you to suffer while I do it. It's a case of, this is the last throw of the dice. And of course he had this problem that every single time he'd have a conflict with Raybert would bop off into time and come back with a bigger, nastier ship than he had the first time around. It's kind of like... the first version of this we saw was basically unarmed, okay, and now he's popping our ships like zits with single hits, okay, and my God, he went back and got weaponized nanotech, and he's turning it loose on us, it's kind of like,
situation.
In the Valkyrie Protocol, at one point, the admin is looking at Syscom and saying, well, surely they would do that. They're saying, these people were prepared to use weaponized nanotech. And it's like, well, granted, it was our nanotech that they stole from our past, but still, it was proof of how far they'll go. You're kind of like, wait, but that was a different, That's one of the fun things about the book. I think one of the differences between the Gordian Protocol and the Valkyrie Protocol is that in the Gordian Protocol, in Benjamin's case especially, we get into the moral question of, it's your what is your moral responsibility? Is your moral responsibility to assume the guilt for preventing Adolf Hitler's assassination and ensuring that the Holocaust will happen in order to save these other universes, but you personally have to assume the responsibility for telling everybody this is what you have to do to prevent it from happening? When that was from the beginning, that was the decision point that I had in mind for the story and the character, was to put him in the position of making that decision. To my mind, in a lot of ways, Benjamin is the protagonist of the Gordian Protocol, and Raybert is the protagonist of the Valkyrie Protocol. Raybert is the guy who, from the beginning in the first book, is trying to prevent the destruction of the universes. But Benjamin is the guy who we meet first, and he's the guy who has the information that needs to be gotten. This is what we need. And he's the guy who, in the end, makes the suicide run to take out what needs to be taken out. In the Valkyrie Protocol, Raybert is the captain of the ship, and it is a team effort. And so Raybert is more the face of the crew of the Clio than Benjamin is. And the real, I think in many respects, the protagonist of the book in a lot of ways is Theodora. Because she's the one whose actions set up everything that happens. Mm-hmm. We both write ensemble casts for novels. So if you want to try and pick out a character who is the protagonist of either of these books, good luck. We can't, and that's kind of the nature of, in my opinion, good writing. Okay, I mean, you have focal characters in any good story. Characters who are the lens that the reader sees into the story through. But in a good story, it's not just character A will single-handedly save the day or character B will single-handedly destroy the world. Okay? There's a lot more stuff going on. And keeping those balls in the air can be really, really tricky. But if you get it done right at the end of the day, it's very much worth it.